Welcome to the Tell Us Ellis podcast.
All right, everybody. It is so good to be back with you after what feels like an eternity. I think it's only been a week, maybe not even a week, but busy week and a lot's happening, just setting up football games and stuff for this week. Murph and I did record yesterday, and we're going to play that for you today. Sorry I didn't get it out last night. Was in New York most of the week. So just couldn't get it all together and ready to go, but we'll do that now. We talk about last week's games, coaching carousel, this week's picks, and we've got some good stuff coming up in the next couple of days as well, especially with the national championship coming up and Murph making a trip to the national championship. So at least a tailgate. That doesn't make sense to me, but I think that's his plan. He's literally going to go down and tailgate. If you know Murph, you'd say that's kind of him, right? So we'll play that for you and hope you enjoy it. And we've got a lot of stuff coming out. Like I said, the next couple of days, I'm going to do another rewind sessions. We've got some baseball stuff to talk about. So a lot going on. Glad to be back at you. For now, let's revisit Murph and I's discussion from yesterday. Kevin, we are on location. I am on location in a different location than normal. So we're trying something out here. How was your week?
My week was great. Thank you. Everything, we had a good week here at the Murphy house. Had a couple W's in the high school basketball world. Got some lifts in for college football type thing. So the youngest is doing well. The girls are all good. How about you? What's your life like?
It's been a week in New York, so still here in New York, but wrapping things up, ready to head back home.
Is that
But
really
yeah,
the
man,
city that never sleeps?
it is definitely the city that never sleeps. And I'll tell you why. Outside this window, all night, traffic, horns, construction, people. It is the city that never sleeps. And it's really good because, I heard stories about COVID and just how it was a ghost town, but it feels really vibrant here right now, like more so even than I remember before COVID. I had a chance, Jill and I walked down to the Times Square last night. We went to a show. Show was sold out. Times Square was crazy. So it felt really good. Really good.
Yeah, and that's a good indicator on a lot of different fronts. So good to hear.
Well, and all day today, Kevin, it's been about John Harbaugh to the Giants. So that's something that's happened that's transpired since our last show, which wasn't that long ago. But Harbaugh gets let go, and I'm telling you that.
What are your thoughts on that? I did not see the New York Giants for Harbaugh.
I think it's when you look at the openings, I think that was the most attractive opening, and
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors being healthy, and they've got some really good skill position guys. The kid from Penn State on the defensive line, like I feel like it's a really good situation. So if you look at the openings, I would put that number one. Well, let me back up because Tomlin's also left Pittsburgh. So Giants and Pittsburgh definitely appealing destinations, right?
Well, and then you have you never want to replace the GOAT, right? And so
Yeah.
Harbaugh goes in there and he makes the playoffs. Harbaugh goes in there and they have a 9-7 season, or you know what I mean? He's set up to succeed and build, and maybe that's what he loves to do.
Yeah. The problem is in New York is not Baltimore. Baltimore fans can be pretty forgiving. New York is not going to give him a long chance to succeed. I mean, we see it all the time with coaches in New York. Look at Robert Saleh with the Jets. Look at just about anybody.
Cannot imagine that dropping a pass in the Harbaugh house was a fun thing anyway with
Good
Mr.
point.
Harbaugh. And
Good
so
point.
I don't think you're going to rattle a Harbaugh with people not approving or liking him. So maybe he's the ideal fit for the New York Giants.
When I was looking at it originally, I thought maybe the Dolphins would be a good destination for him too.
I
Again,
thought location alone
yeah,
to be in
location
Miami.
alone. And
That's
they
what I was
also have
thinking.
some nice pieces too. They need the
Mhm.
quarterback, but they have some nice pieces. So I think Harbaugh, if the Giants are off the board, they get this deal done. You have to look at Pittsburgh, and boy, I'm not sure which way they're going to go in Pittsburgh. I mean, could they get a Marcus Freeman to jump ship? I know he just committed back to Notre Dame, and he is all in on
God,
Notre Dame. Money speaks,
the
though.
yeah, money speaks, but gosh, the $1 million question is how do you leave Notre Dame? Like, I don't know how people leave Notre Dame. I just don't get that. Like, I've been to South Bend. I've seen what it's like. I gotta think it's pretty nice on that campus being the head football coach.
Yeah, but it is possibly the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that has had 3 head coaches in our lifetime, and we're in our 50s. A team that has winning records. I mean, you go back, they don't they might not win Super Bowls as much as they did in the 70s, but they're a winning franchise. So, I hear you with it, and I think it would be a difficult thing for him to do. But if it's not him, who do the Steelers go with? I mean, I hear Arthur Smith, who's the offensive coordinator there right now. I'll be honest, he doesn't excite me that much. I mean, who on the list?
I think it was a really weird year. Well, it was a weird year in college for coaching turnover. And here we're experiencing the same thing in the NFL. There's a lot of open spots. Where are we going to
There's
grab these guys from?
7 open spots.
I don't know. Yeah,
If
I
the
don't
jo-
know.
if, yeah. The list, I wrote down a list of names that include the ones that have been fired, such as Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, who I think we both like Stefanski,
We
Pete
do. We
Carroll.
do.
Pete Carroll's out. The old man is out. Sorry.
I'm
Jonathan
fine with
Gannon's
that.
Mike McDaniel. He's not going to Pittsburgh. I don't think he's probably maybe an assistant coach somewhere. But then you have some of these other names like a Clint Kubiak, who's the offensive coordinator in Seattle, Robert Sala, who's defensive coordinator in San Francisco, Chris Shula, a big name for the Rams. He's their defensive coordinator. Jeff Halfley, Green Bay defensive coordinator. Jesse Minter's a big name, San Diego defensive coordinator. You've got Matt Nagy with the Chiefs, offensive coordinator. Vance Joseph with the Broncos defensive coordinator. Joe Bradley, the Buffalo offensive coordinator. And then the last one on my list is Arthur Smith. Like, those are the names that I've heard that are getting interviews at this point.
Think some of the attractive ones, Jamie, have to be the guys that have had a touch at being a head coach, have been let go and went back and were a coordinator. So Saleh to me seems like an attractive guy. If he had the it factor to get hired once and it didn't work, there's no reason to think that the guy hasn't learned, hasn't noticed maybe what he did wrong. You like that guy has a plan, right? Like a Saleh. If he gets his second chance at being a head coach in the NFL, I gotta feel he's gonna do a good job.
Well, and going to Pittsburgh is a lot different than going to the Jets, right? I mean, Pittsburgh
And
values
he's a defensive minded guy, and Pittsburgh in general wins on their defense.
and he is a true leader. Like, I had a chance to watch him on Hard Knocks a couple of years ago when he was with the Jets, and I love the guy. I mean, I absolutely love the guy. So I do think that he could be a good fit for say a Pittsburgh. I think they could really, in an interview, he could blow them away. And yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see
That's
that.
that's what I would be looking at off of your list is who's dipped their toes in the water as a head coach, got out of it and went back to be a coordinator. That would be the sexiest candidate for me because I think they've learned, right?
Yeah.
They failed. They failed. They probably know why they failed internally, and they're not going to fail again, is my thinking.
Yeah. So if you look at the list again, Arthur Smith is in that category. Vance Joseph is in that category. Matt Nagy, Sala. Those are the ones.
Well, isn't McDaniels in there?
Well, so he got let go. He hasn't now gone back to a coordinator, right? I think that's where he'll end up. But yeah, you could include Gannon, Stefan. You could include all those guys on the list. But I think you were saying,
Stefanski's an interesting dude, thinking Ravens, Steelers, he knows the division.
yeah,
You and I were both surprised he got fired. I mean, I don't know that he deserved to get let go.
I think at the end of the day, I could see Saleh in Pittsburgh and Stefanski in Baltimore. I think
Yeah,
I think those are
sure.
good names.
They actually fit the picture, like, of what I would expect. A defensive guy and an offensive guy in Baltimore. I don't know. That works for me.
You know, it was interesting. We talked about Lamar Jackson and did Harbaugh like lean into him too much? And did that put him at odds maybe with ownership or whatever? Thought it was interesting. As soon as Harbaugh was let go, Steve Bisciotti said, "Hey, and we're working on a long-term extension with Lamar Jackson." So you almost wonder if Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh maybe had some heat with each other, and is ownership now leaning into, no, Lamar is our guy? I thought he might be on the trade market or something.
Well, if the owner's saying that, you better be comfortable with him as your quarterback.
Yeah.
And I will tell you one thing that I trust is somebody with the last name Harbaugh and judging NFL talent as a quarterback. And if Harbaugh was not happy with Lamar Jackson, then the Ravens may have made a bad mistake if they sign an extension. But it's on the owner, and you know that guy does what he wants when he wants to do it. His interview couldn't have been any more definitive.
Yeah.
Did
I want
you
to
see
call,
Bisciotti on
but yeah, I
interview?
mean,
It was pretty demonstrative how he was feeling. It was there. And it sounded like he had a little edge to him.
he's a smart guy. He's a really smart guy, and he is very intentional about what he does. And I think after 18 years, I think it's worth doing something different. But we talked
Well,
about it.
you
It's
and I
hard.
said, yeah, you and I talked about it. This is not whether Jim Harbaugh is a good football coach. He's a great
No.
football coach.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we talked about Saleh being a defensive coordinator. I thought he did a really good job on Sunday with the Eagles. That game, I'll tell you, Kevin, and we were texting about it. Was this the best wild card weekend that you can remember? I mean, those first four games were incredible.
Yeah, every one of them felt like it went to the wire. It was very entertaining. And entertaining, I don't think it was sloppy football. It was good football. It was chess. They were playing chess out there, and I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah, I thought the Panthers really showed something. They showed a lot of heart. I mean, I don't think
That
anybody
one
expected
surprised
them to
me.
win.
That one, but the fact that it was even that close surprised me.
They were very close. And I think Stafford showed why he should be the MVP, by the way. I mean,
Yeah, I think
he's
that's over.
and
Yeah, I
he's
think that's
clutch.
over.
But I do think, you mentioned this last week, you kind of like Carolina, right? You want to root for them. And I think they're showing something and they can build on this. And they're not going to be the laughing stock anymore. And
No, no,
good for
no.
them.
I agree. Yeah, and I agree. And I think if you're a Carolina Panther fan, you got a lot of reasons to be excited about next year.
Now, I do have to talk about a game that might hurt you a little bit. Okay.
Knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, I get it. How do the Bears do this week in and week out? I mean, it's incredible. You just expect it to happen. Caleb Williams might be a really special guy. Now, it also helps when you have a stupid head coach that makes boneheaded decisions late in the game. I don't know how you feel about that comment, but what was LaFleur Floor
Jamie, we're
think
looking
that?
to give him an extension.
Well, I think he's worked his way out of that extension. I don't understand how you have the
That's
ball
what they
down
were
at this.
talking about. That's what they were
I
talking
understand.
about. Working on an extension with LaFleur.
He had the ball down there with what, 3 minutes left. You want to run out the clock, and he throws three passes into the end zone.
Now, it'd be one thing if this was an isolated incident, But if you're a Packers fan, we've sort of seen this, all right, with him. He does not understand protecting a lead. I don't know if he thinks it's like a Madden game. He wants to be entertained, keeps hitting the X button. I don't know. But the fact that they're talking about an extension with him has me totally bewildered.
It is interesting, though. He is one of those good young coaches, and he has had success. Let's not talk about playoff success, but when I look at LaFleur and then I look at these options that I just talked through, are you really going to upgrade with somebody? Are you really going to get that answer?
Harbaugh, for me, would be the guy. But
Yeah.
if I didn't get Harbaugh, stay with LaFleur, I guess. Yeah, I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Kevin, it was 21-6 going into the fourth quarter. The
I'm
Bears
well
out
aware of it, Jamie.
the
Jamie, I'm well aware of it. I was watching.
The Bears outscored the Packers 25-6 in the fourth quarter. 25-6. Oh my goodness.
Callahan and I were watching the game. We're both Packers fans. We made that decision a long time ago. We both got to go see a game there together. He was maybe 7. And we just looked at each other and we said, "This is our team from here on out." So we're just going to be Packers fans. And that's how we decided it. And
why do you do that to him? What are you
well,
doing?
well, could have been worse. He could have listened to his mother and been an Eagles fan.
Hey, Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Well, he would have had one. He would have had one. Yeah, Jamie, it terribly, terribly frustrating in the NFL because there's certain numbers in the NFL that you think you're safe with, right? And you get to the fourth quarter on a cold day, you should be able to put that one away. And they didn't. And they didn't. But like I said, this isn't an isolated incident. This has been happening in the regular season, I don't know, for 2 years, 3 years.
To give the Bears some credit, again, Caleb Williams, really clutch passer. I gave the Bears a lot of crap early on when they drafted Colston Loveland ahead of Tyler Warren at Penn State. Like, I was all
Now,
over them about that.
I like Loveland.
He's been really good. I mean,
Yeah, I like Loveland. I know
seven,
the Tyler Warren thing, but to me, they were a 1 and a 1A.
yeah, 713 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in the regular season, and then he had 137 yards in this game.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think it's time that we stop sitting there saying how lucky the Bears are and how they just pulled one off. Maybe
Yeah,
it isn't any of that, right? Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe that's a solid football team that we're just not seeing.
they could be an NFC representative. I have no doubt about that now. I
I would
thought,
really like to see them come out and play a very good football game though this weekend.
yeah, agree,
You know what I mean?
complete.
If they lay an egg, then I'm just like they were a week late for us, right? They could have laid the egg last week. But if they come out and play a very good football game, then I have to myself change my tune on Caleb Williams. I am a big believer in Ben Johnson
Yeah,
as an offensive mind, but like maybe I have to change my tune on Caleb Williams.
I'm with you 100%. For some reason, I'm still not 100% sold, but I'm 90% sold. I'm
Yeah, I'm
90%
not
sold.
100% either, but if he comes out and plays another solid playoff game, I don't have a choice. The kid did everything you need him to do.
On Sunday, the first game was Bills and Jaguars, and boy, that was a great game. It's starting to make me feel like maybe this is Buffalo's year.
Packers lost Saturday night. My allegiance in the NFC switched to the Eagles for family reasons. And with the Eagles losing,
What was that for about 16 hours of allegiance to the Eagles? Is that what you had?
so with all that, I think I'm just walking away from the NFC and I'm a Bills fan. I think I'm rooting for the Bills.
And that's kinda where I am right now. Josh Allen, like, he doesn't have he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes to go through. He doesn't have Joe Burrow to go through. He doesn't have any of those guys. This could be his thing. I'll tell you. We'll get into some picks here in just a little bit, but I think they're set up to maybe be that AFC representative.
Let me ask you this, Jamie. If they don't do it, with everything you just said, if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl, quite honestly, I feel the Bills have to win the Super Bowl. But if they don't make the Super Bowl, has this
It's
been a wasted 3, 4 years?
I think it is. And it's hard to say that the way that Mahomes played all those years and
Yeah, you had a
Burrow.
roadblock. You had a tough
Yeah,
roadblock. Yep, yep, yep.
but so did Peyton Manning, right? And Peyton Manning broke through and
Mhm.
won the Super Bowl. Josh Allen needs to do that. And
It's really I'm sorry.
will there be change in Buffalo if it doesn't happen?
I think there will be.
Yeah, we talked about that
100%.
a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I think they will. I think guys like our age, we were in college during those 4 years of the AFC Championship losses and stuff, and so I think it's hard not to have some type of empathy
Yeah,
for what
especially
those
for the
people went through.
absolutely. And they're great fans, right? I mean, they're great
You
fans.
won't you won't find a better group of fans in the NFL than Buffalo. They're totally different than like an Eagle base or like the Bills fans. It's like us against the world. We're up here in the Arctic, and I shoveled in the morning. I got a shovel in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Like they're tough people up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm rooting for them. I hope they get one.
Then the nightcap, your 16 hours of Eagle fandom, led to the Niners beating the Eagles, and I look at that game, I don't really know how the 49ers won it. I mean, I didn't
I
think Purdy
agree.
played great football,
I agree. I
and
felt the Eagles were going to pull it out.
I feel like they should've. I still look back,
I don't know that you're wrong. I just felt like so comfortable. And I actually felt so comfortable that my little thumbs on my cell phone found this site called DraftKings. I don't know if you're
that's not
familiar with
good.
it.
I'm a little
Yeah.
familiar with
And
it. That's bad.
yeah, and
That's bad news.
I jumped the Eagles in game after that opening touchdown by the Niners. I thought I haven't seen the Eagles yet. Every team, plans that first drive, and it worked out perfectly for them. That stuff happens. And so I thought there was a lot of value in betting the Eagles in game. And I was really surprised that they lost.
Yeah, like I said, I go back like, one of the things I like to do is just go back and look at the box score of the game and try to, like, figure out how the teams won or lost, and that's just a hard one to figure out. You had that trick pass, wide receiver pass for a touchdown, but it's statistically, San Francisco, it's not like they outplayed them. Even, Christian McCaffrey, I mean, he had 48 yards on 15 carries, but when they needed him, he came through.
That was a tough catch.
That was a tough catch.
Like he had to reverse his body, and that was a tough catch. And that play, it was tough. I mean, it's easy to see from the TV angle. You could see him running the ball. You could see him sort of moving the ball in his hand. I knew he was going to throw it,
Yeah,
right? But I'm not the free safety that had to come up on what he thought was a reverse.
yeah.
And so those 3 steps, that's all it takes. And that was over. With all that said, McCaffrey made a heck of a catch. He just as easily could have dropped that.
Heck of a catch. AJ Brown, for as much bickering as he did on the sidelines, he missed a big throw late in the game.
A
And
lot of people are giving him leeway on the one down the sideline
yeah,
that was, like, on his tips. They're saying he had trouble picking the ball up or this or that. I don't like that. I saw enough angles. That was a drop. He dropped the ball.
he's a superstar NFL wide receiver. I don't give him any leeway there. None. So,
No.
we're
Like, if
this
you're everything you tell me you are, catch that ball.
that's right.
think I think those drops affected down the line in the game because There was a time where he went to Dotson, who was double covered and probably was interfered with
Yeah.
on the left sideline. He didn't even look to AJ Brown. Like,
No.
and that last play of the game, he went to Goddard, who was his reliable guy all game.
Yes.
And you had AJ Brown on the back of the end zone. Like, it didn't even look like he was looking at him. So there's a lot of problems in the Eagles locker room. I have to think there's just something going on there, and they better figure it out.
Big Dom needs to clear house.
There might be people disappearing.
There needs to be something. I mean, I was thinking this morning, like, what do you do with a Jalen Hurts? Do you throw him back out there next year?
Well, I
Do
think
you
you got
trade
to
him?
diagnose. I think you got to what's the problem, and figure that out. If the problem's Jalen, which I'm not sure it is,
Yeah.
I'll reference the York Bird Gang because I get a lot of my information from that. And then Eckenroth is a huge Eagles fan. And my brother-in-law Ed's a big Eagles fan. I mean, these guys and Jimmy Staub, these guys know the Eagles. Like, there's very few things they pay attention to. And to each one of them, they were like, yeah, we weren't going to win the Super Bowl anyway. They were like, this team wasn't good enough to advance in the playoffs. I heard from more Eagles fans that this wasn't a surprise. And if you knew, you knew. And most Eagles fans knew they weren't equipped this year to make a run or to win that game. And I just thought I was going to see some type of huge change, right? Some type of sign of life that I thought they had. I thought I would see it in the playoffs, and we didn't.
Do you think they make a move on an AJ Brown in the offseason? Do they trade him?
I think you have. I think you have
Someone,
to,
right?
Jamie.
It's got to be someone.
Well, but AJ Brown, just like, what are you getting out of him? Is he a good locker room guy? I don't know. Maybe he is. He doesn't appear to be. But whatever's wrong in that locker room, you better figure it out.
Maybe he needs to give that book to everybody on the team.
Yeah.
That book he
I
reads.
don't think he's reading it. I think there are pictures in it.
Too funny. Well, then the last two games, I was going to go somewhere with it, but I'm going to let it go. The last two games weren't the best of the batch, right? The Patriots, Chargers, it was close for a while, but you felt like New England had it in control. And then the Texans just poured on the Steelers in the fourth quarter. And
The Chargers, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, the Chargers, unbeknownst to me, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know all of this, had some serious injuries way back in preseason and stuff. And so I was not necessarily aware with that. I talked with Billy Kayat. Billy Kayat coached in the NFL for the Redskins, and we were talking about some other things. But one of the things he mentioned is, like, say I need a wide receiver in the NFL and it's week 8. Well, there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
They can catch, they can run a pattern, they know the receiver tree, right? And if they keep themselves in shape, you can grab them and put them in. If you need a lineman, like the Chargers did, you just got done cutting some guys. You need a guy that's 315, can move, is in shape, can learn the offense in a week, and you're in a jam when you lose a lineman. Because anybody that is that size, that is worth anything, is already on a roster. And so losing linemen is a big, big problem.
I've never
Does that make sense to you?
It makes
Like,
it
if
makes
you need a
ton of
running back,
sense.
you can find a running back. If you need a wide receiver, you can find a wide receiver. You need a defensive back, you can find a defensive back. But when you start getting into those big guys, anybody that's that big, that can move, that understands your offense, that it's tough. And you lose them, they're hard to replace. You just can't grab some dude off the street and put them in. And so maybe the Chargers were just dealt a bad hand this year, and we should give them another look next year, because they obviously have weapons. They showed moments, but they just, that game against the Patriots right, was pretty predictable.
Herbert was just getting beat up. I mean, I felt bad for him late in the
He's
game.
a
He looked
tough
like
kid.
he is a tough kid. He had one hand in a cast. He looked like he was getting knocked out. I like him. He puts up really good numbers, and that's with an offensive line that Kevin. It was one thing to miss one guy. I think they were missing two, maybe three during the year.
Well, they were missing two at the very beginning, and then they ended up missing another one. So yeah, no, 100%. If they're healthy, who knows what that team could look like? We talk about Denver a lot. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. We talk about Denver. Are they a year away? Maybe the Chargers are a year away.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And again, good coach, another Harbaugh.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe they're just a year away.
So then we had the Texans Steelers again, pretty close, really close for three quarters. There was
I
just a
don't.
lack of, I don't know if it's energy or, they celebrated the Steelers beating the Ravens, getting in the playoffs, and then there was just no energy, I felt like.
Well, something was missing, and I I watched the Eagles game, and the one thing about the Eagles game that came up, and I've always felt this way about the Steelers as well, is like a lack of urgency on offense. It's
Yeah,
like it's like they feel they can give possessions away and be fine. The Eagles come out in the second half and go 3 and out.
yeah,
3 and out. I don't even know if they took 45 seconds off the clock, and they're giving the ball right back. That's a lost possession. And
yeah.
it's like they don't even value them. And I feel the same way about the Steelers on offense. I feel there's a lack of urgency. Our defense will just get us out of another jam and will make it work. And that stuff works, but it doesn't always work. And it certainly didn't work on Monday night. So that's a disappointing loss. That was a winnable game for the Steelers.
Listen to these drives for the Steelers. So, they came out 5 plays, 30-yard drive, didn't score. They kicked a field goal their next drive. But listen to this from those 3 points after that. 3 plays for 5 yards, 3 plays for 0 yards, 8 plays for 4 yards, 8 plays for 23 yards, 4 plays for 6 yards, 4 plays for 2 yards, 6 plays for 19 yards, 4 plays for 5 yards, and then 6 plays for 21 yards. Those are your drives.
And I'm sitting here saying I think it was a winnable game. Well, how's it going to be winnable with that, right? Like, what is that? That's like
Meanwhile, the Texans' last drive of the game was 11 plays and 87 yards.
Stroud's another kid that I feel like I have to take a step back and admit I was wrong on. I did not think he was going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Are we there yet, though? Do we have a judgment on him? I don't know if I have a judgment
I
on
I
him
love
yet.
I love the way he fights. I like the way he plays. It's not always pretty, and I mean he may not be like a 400-yard guy, but he won a playoff game. And there's not a lot of guys walking this earth that have been a quarterback on an NFL playoff winning team. So he's special. To what degree I don't know yet, but he's better than I thought. He's shown more than I thought I would see from him. That too, even though they advanced, that too could be a team that's a year away.
By the way, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm getting a New York high right now off of somebody smoking something down on the street. It's
Totally
unbelievable.
legal. Totally legal.
It is everywhere. Like everywhere you walk, you just smell it. So yeah, I'm sitting here getting secondhand
I
smokes.
remember I remember Vegas. I remember walking with Jen in Vegas, and it was like you couldn't go anywhere on the street without smelling weed. And I'm like, well, I get it. You're allowed to do it, but like, do I have to smell it? Like, do I? And I'm not like overly opposed to it, but like, I don't need
Right.
to breathe it every second.
Maybe not. But anyway. All right. All right, Murph. Well, let's talk about the coming week of games. We've got 4 games on the slate. Really narrowing it down. It's making me sad. But first game, Saturday, 4:30 kickoff. Buffalo Bills at Denver Broncos. Buffalo getting a point and a half, and the total is 46.5. And I'm going to tell you right out of the gates, you said it earlier, I am riding the Buffalo Bills all the way. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Love the fact they're getting a point and a half here. I think Denver has been overrated all season. I love the Bills in this situation. Oh, and if I have to put money on it, I do. I'd put $500 on it.
I am going to sorry, something came up. You know who just called me? Bobby G.
Jeez. He wants to put his
Oh,
bet in.
yeah, he wants to put his 2 cents in on who we're picking. I'm actually going to change it. I'm going to switch it up, Jamie. We're getting towards the end here. I'm going to go on 750. Let's just do 700. Let's not get into the 50 stuff. 700 Bills. I am not touching this over under. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel good about the over under, but I love the Bills in this situation.
And I like, we've been talking. I like the Broncos. I do feel they are a year away. I just
Yeah,
don't think it's their time.
they're having a ton of success. Well
What do I
coached.
love, Jamie? What else do I love? I love wild card teams and wild card weekend that were on the road.
Yes.
Who won? Who got over that first playoff hurdle in competition? And I hate sitting. I hate the fact that the Broncos were sitting.
I'm writing this down. This is Kevin's rules of engagement. That one on the road.
I feel very strongly about that. Like when Buffalo's flying home from Jacksonville, like what do you think that plane's like? I mean, they got beers on it. They're having fun. They're playing music. The coaches are having fun. They land. There's thousands of people there. I don't know if you saw that. Thousands of people standing in the cold, greeting that team in the dark, coming back from Jacksonville. And playoffs are tough. They're win or go home. And when you win, you got to celebrate it because you just survived and extended your season. And there is no reason to not celebrate it. You can't celebrate it for 3 days, but for that day, you guys accomplished something and you beat a good Jacksonville team at their home field in front of their crowd. And I just feel there's momentum with that.
So then your next game pick is going to be San Francisco plus the 7 at Seattle. Same set of facts.
That one I have problems with.
All right. We'll talk
Who
about
do you
it.
want? Who do you want?
The Kittle injury is that's not good. And I feel bad for that guy. He's such a competitor. I think 7 points is a lot to give to San Francisco. Number one. I think Sam Darnold has not showed that he can win in the playoffs or really win consistently in big games. Yet. This could be the time, right?
Yes. Yep.
I'm going to take San Fran plus the 7 for 500. I just think it's too many points.
I have a little rule with gambling, and sometimes there's indicators, and my indicator says if initially that was the point spread and that's what they felt comfortable with, something else is there they know that I don't. And so I'm going Seattle. And I'll go Seattle 500. I'll lay the points.
I was surprised that the spread was 7 points.
Yeah.
I would have
And
the 4 or 5, I get.
Yeah.
7 points?
No, I'm taking Seattle. They're an interesting group, and that's a tough place to play. And I think it could end up being like a 10-point win type thing.
They just beat them, right? I mean, they just beat them.
I think it could be like a 10-point win, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit more. Like if that game wasn't a good game, if that game was always in Seattle's hands from the very start, like Seattle had control of that game from the start, I wouldn't be surprised with that. So I'm going Seattle.
I did like the way the San Francisco
What is the
defense.
over-under, Jamie?
Oh, I don't think I told you. 44.5.
I don't want to mess with that either.
I do like the way San Francisco's defense played against the Eagles. I thought Saleh did a really nice job getting them ready. And can he do it 2 weeks in a row? Seattle, they can score some points. but
Here's another hard and fast Kevin Murphy rule. if 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 the offensive coordinator of the previous team played that was defeated by the next team is fired, you go away with it. So I'm going Seattle.
all right, I've got you down, Seattle for 500. We
Did you
then
see
move.
that kid? Did you from the Eagles that talked about the game afterwards? This little kid, he's probably
Oh, yeah,
15,
yeah. He was
13.
like,
I don't know how old he is. He's
did he
like,
say it was like his
first of
Christmas?
all, yeah. He goes, "Hey, we got to get rid of AJ Brown." He just started laying it out there, and then he goes at the end. He goes, "And it was my Christmas gift."
It was great. Well, then we shift to Sunday, and we've got a first game at 3 o'clock. Houston Texans at the New England Patriots. Texans are getting 3, and it's 40.5 points is the over/under.
I'm gonna put you in a little bit of a spot. I'm taking the Patriots for 700.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
I somewhat feel I'm taking the bait with that, but Drake May carries himself in a certain way that I don't think it's going to be too big for him the moment. And we are supposed to be frigidly cold. Now,
That's a
these
good
guys are
point.
these guys are NFL players. And you know what I mean? Like, we have Under Armour. And so, like, weather shouldn't be a factor. I'm just saying, some of that stuff. I'm starting to become a Drake May guy.
Yeah. He didn't play his best football last week, but it was his first big playoff game, and he did get the win regardless. So,
But he carried himself in a way that the bad stuff didn't affect him, right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the bad incompletions, and he just managed the game. He did what he had to do, and they won. And once again, it means something to win in the playoffs because it's win or go home.
I think I'm going to go with you. I think I'm going to take New England minus the 3. I'll do it for $500. I love Drake May. I think it's really, I like a good New England team. I think Houston's defense is really good. I was tempted to take the under, but I'm going to let that go. I'll take New England minus the 3. It would be an unbelievable story. If the Bears played the Bills in the Super Bowl, it would be an unbelievable story. And I think it could happen. I think we both are on Buffalo. I think it's fair. I don't know. It could be any four of these NFC teams in fairness. But
And I think coming out of this weekend with all the excitement and the energy and the great games that we watched, I am really just hoping for another great weekend, right?
agree. Yeah,
Of
totally agree.
entertaining football. Yeah, I don't have a horse in the race. I just want to be entertained and have another great week of football. And I do think, Jamie, it is a little bit of a jump ball. Like, I don't know if there is a slam dunk person that or team that I could say is going to the big dance. So we'll have to see how this weekend goes, and then maybe we can catch up Monday and talk about another big game that's happening.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about some of your plans that are in the works.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to be able to give people that tune in a little bit of a shot at what it looks like down there. I'm actually going to be in attendance at the national championship game. I do not know if I'm going in. The
I can't
tickets are
blame you.
pretty salty. I have some ins on some very good tailgates. I'm going down with some buddies, and I am going to be filming and sharing what it looks like at a national championship game, and we'll show you sort of what that parking lot's all about.
This is the Ric Flair of York, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. He's in limousines, airplanes. I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you're looking at him right here.
Well, I don't know if I'll be wearing my alligator shoes, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, that's something great, exciting to look forward to, and we hope to be able to bring it to you. And again, we're going to have perhaps a special guest on Monday as well. So a lot of good stuff coming at you, Kevin. It's always a thrill to record with you.
Great, great talking with you as always, Jamie. Take care of everything up there in the Big Apple.
Will do. All right, Murph, take care.
You too, James. We'll see you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks to Murph again for jumping on, joining the show. We did have a little recording snafu, and it was all my fault. I went to adjust my phone as I was recording from my phone, and I hit the stop button and didn't realize it. So we didn't get the last picks for the last game of the day on Sunday, and that's the Rams at Chicago. Really good game. I think this could be the game of the weekend, and we'll see if the Bears do their normal comeback, or maybe they take a lead in this one. It's the Rams that come back. I have the Bears plus 3.5 for $500. Murph took over 48.5 for $400. And you can hear us talk about it a little bit, but I don't think we did get those picks in, so I wanted to share that with you. Again, thanks for joining us. Please check out social media channels. Tell Us Ellis HQ on both X and Instagram. Of course, on YouTube, we're at Tell Us Ellis Media. And then email me if you want to join the show, have a question, have a comment. Feel free to email me, jamie@tellusellis.com. I'm actually getting a lot of good questions, and I have to spend an episode just going through them. Some are funny and comical because they know us. Some are real sports-related questions. And again, just have to spend some time going through those. For now, though, that's a wrap, and I will look forward to talking to you next time. See you later.